I'm Captain Steve, and this is my sailboat, Sales Call. I got into sailing when I moved to Great Neck 32 years ago. When we were looking for a house in Great Neck, the real estate agent sent me to Stepping Stone Park and explained to me that they had a sailing club there, and I could join the sailing club for like $200, and I'd have use of their sailboats. And when I took a look at Stepping Stone Park, I was like, sold. I'll take my house. And we've been living in Great Neck ever since. We grew up in Brooklyn. There was no boating involved in anything we did. Maybe during summer camp, there was a little bit of boating, but very marginal. It wasn't a passion at all back then. Once I moved out to Great Neck, it really became a passion. I got into chartering. My daughter was diagnosed with diabetes in high school, and I wanted to raise money for JDRF, so I donated Sunset Sails, and I was taking people out. They were donating good money, and I was having a good time taking them out, and I was just joking around saying if my business ever fell apart, I could do this for a living. Big part of this is being able to have people on your boat and talk to them, making them feel comfortable. So basically, it's 2-hour minimum to come out for a sail. Some people come out for 3 or 4 hours. You could go for a sail. Some people just like to drop anchor and chill on the boat and take in some sun, go for a swim. Some people want to go for a sail and then maybe pull up to a restaurant like Nino's Beach or Louis or Butler's Flat, have lunch, and then get back on the boat. Sometimes I'll just drop them off at those restaurants, and then they could take the Port Washington water taxi back to the Fathoms Hotel where the boat is docked so they could get back to their car. Some people want to go for a long sail. We'll sail under the Throgs Neck Bridge, along the East River. We do a lot of tours around Manhasset Bay where you can see all the mansions of Great Neck and Sands Point. There are lighthouses. There's historic lighthouses that I take people to go see. There's Execution Rocks Lighthouse, which is located on the water halfway in between Sands Point and New Rochelle. Then there's also Stepping Stone Lighthouse, halfway between City Island and Stepping Stone Park. The sunset cruises are beautiful. When the sky lights up, the colors are out. It's really special. Like 99% of my customers get off the boat and say that was the best day ever. So the beauty of sailing is when you shut the engine and the wind fills the sails, and you don't have that rumble of the engine, and the boat just glides through the water smoothly. People are always afraid of getting seasick, and it's very rare that people get seasick on the boat. A motorboat is a planing boat. It rides on top of the water, and it's much more subject to the shifting patterns of the waves. And a sailboat is a displacement hull. And it has a very heavy keel at the bottom that's deep in the water, and it kind of glides through the water much smoother than a motorboat. The seating on my boat is super comfortable. The way this is curved is very ergonomic, especially when you're heeled over and sailing. It's super comfortable. This is everyone's favorite sailing position right here. And then I can only take 6 guests. So there's plenty of room, you could see, for 3 people on each side. So people always want to know there is a bathroom on board. There's a Bluetooth stereo on board. There's a full kitchen. I've lived on the boat. I took the boat down to Florida, lived on the boat for 6 months during that trip. We live on an island. Long Island's an island, but so few people take advantage of the water around Long Island. And I've really enjoyed making being on the water accessible to many people. And then I've tried to keep my costs of my private charters reasonable. People just love being out on the boat itself. They do love seeing the crazy mansions that line the shores of Great Neck's Kings Point and Sands Point, and hearing stories about the famous people that lived here, and then some of the famous people that still live here, and then some of the history in the area. F. Scott Fitzgerald lived in Great Neck. Great Neck is Gatsby's West Egg, and Sands Point is Gatsby's East Egg. So people love hearing about that. They always want to see the Gatsby house, but it's fictitious. There is no actual Gatsby house. My season goes from May May is for the wholehearted sailor. It's a little cold outside because the water's still cold in May. Most of my customers come June, July, August, and September. I'll be in the water to the end of October. Most people don't come in October, but you have some really beautiful days out there. To me, the air's cooler, the sun's not quite as strong in October and September, so it's really much better sailing season. Most people tend to look outside when it's 90 degrees and really hot and they want to go on the boat. Some of those days there's no wind, but then you could always just jump off the back of the boat. We drop anchor. A lot of people really enjoy swimming. I do sailing lessons. I've had people sign up for 2 to 10 hours of sailing lessons because they were interested in buying a boat. I could teach them everything they needed to learn about sailing a boat, maintaining a boat, navigation. I do mostly private charters, but every 3 or 4 weeks or so, I host a community sail where individuals or couples or groups of people that can't afford or don't want a private charter are able to just buy an individual seat. So if anyone's interested in sailing, everything's on my website, www.captainstevesailing.com. You could check out my Instagram page, Captain Steve Sailing, or my Facebook page, Captain Steve Sailing Experience.